This is a Nantucket whaling ship, and the year is the 1850s. You are a green hand, and you are about to give years of your life to hunting the largest animal on Earth at every rank, from the forecastle to the quarterdeck. You are 22, and you have signed your name to a piece of paper that will own you for 3 years, and you did it gladly, because the paper is a berth on the whale ship Essex Rose, and a berth is more than the shore ever offered a poor man with strong arms and no name. You will not be paid a wage. No whaleman is. You are paid a lay, a share, a fraction of whatever oil the ship brings home, and yours is the green hand's lay, the smallest fraction of all, 1 part in 200. The green hand. You are the lowest thing aboard, and the sea sets about teaching you at once, with the only 2 instructors it keeps, work and fear. You are sick for a week and work through all of it. You learn the ropes, hundreds of them, and the mate does not tell you twice. You learn to sleep in the forecastle, a black wet triangle in the bow where 20 men are stacked. That smells of tar and bilge and men, and pitches like a barrel going downhill forever. The ship is a factory that hunts, and you are the smallest, cheapest part of it. And this, you understand slowly, is exactly why you came. Out here for the first time in your life, what happens to you depends on what you do, and not on a paper a magistrate signed about your father. The ship. Learn the vessel, because for 3 years she is your whole country, 300 tons of oak and hope. Below decks, the casks, hundreds of them, empty now, waiting. The ship is mostly a floating barrel, and your job is to fill it. Amidships, the try-works, a brick furnace built on the deck of a wooden ship, which should tell you everything about the trade. That whalemen build a fire on a boat, on purpose, because the alternative is coming home poor. The men are a stranger sort of family than any you have known. On the shore you are nothing, here you are a hand, judged by whether you pull your oar. The sea is a hard country, but an honest one. It asks only what you can do, and it asks it of everyone the same. The oarsman. 6 months out, the cry comes from the masthead that every man has been waiting and dreading for. There she blows. And now you learn what you signed for. The boats drop, small, light, 28 feet, 6 men each, and you are an oarsman, and you row toward the largest animal that has ever lived, and the rule is silence and speed. You do not look. You row with your back to the whale, and you watch the boat header's face, and you learn the whole story of the hunt in his eyes. You are rowing blind towards something that could kill you, trusting one man's face, and it is the most alive you have ever been. The hunt. The harpoon does not kill. It only fastens, and then the whale runs and tows the little boat behind it across the sea at a speed no man had travelled before the railways, a Nantucket sleigh ride. And you hold on and pray the line does not foul. The killing is slow, done with a lance, close, in the churn of blood, and the whale's dying is enormous and pitiable and goes on, and the sea for 100 yards turns red, and the men cheer, because that red is oil, and oil is the lay. You feel 2 things at once and will feel them both for the rest of your life, awe at the size of the death, and hunger at the size of the payday. That is the whaleman's soul, split clean down the middle, and it never heals, and you would sign again tomorrow. The try-works. Then the labour that gives the trade its true face. The whale is cut in, great strips of blubber peeled off like an apple's skin, and the try-works are lit, and the blubber is boiled to oil over a fire fed by the whale's own scraps, so that the animal cooks itself. You work in it for 3 days without real sleep, up to the ankles in oil and blood, and by the end you cannot tell where the whale ends and the ship begins, and you are so tired you weep and keep working, and the casks fill, one by one, with the money you came for. The boat steerer. 2 years in, they make you a boat steerer, a harpooner. It is the great promotion of the forecastle, the leap that more than doubles 3 years of your life with a single word from the captain. Now it is you who must stand, in a boat towed by a whale, and throw the iron true, and the whole voyage's fortune rides on your arm in the half-second the boat header gives you. You strike, and you have made them all a little less poor, and made yourself a man with a trade at last. You are good at it, you did not know you would be. A poor man rarely gets to find out what he is good at. The shore never asks. And out here you learn the thing England would have died without ever telling you, that you, specifically you, are worth something. The reckoning. 3 years and 4 months out, the Essex Rose comes home low in the water, full, 1,500 barrels, and you do the sum on the key. Your 90th lay against the ship's costs, for the ship charges you, out of your own lay, For the clothes and tobacco and tools you drew on credit for 3 years, at the ship's own prices, the way the mill town charged, the way the workhouse store charged, and 3 years of the bravest labour of your life comes to a sum a clerk could earn in a year and a half ashore. You are not cheated exactly. It is all in the paper you signed at 22. The lay system is honest and legal, and it takes most of what you earned. The way every system the poor are offered is honest and legal, and takes most of what they earned. The mate. But you do not go home poor in the one currency that mattered. You go home a whaleman. You sign again. Of course you sign again. And over 3 more voyages you become a mate, the man whose face the oarsman read, and a man with a little money and a great deal of standing in a small hard town. On one voyage you take a green boy of your own, sick for his first week, and you teach him the ropes, with the rope's end, because that is how you learnt, and it worked. And you are not gentle, because the sea is not gentle, and a gentle education out here gets a man killed. That is not cruelty. That is how a poor man is made into someone the sea will let live. You will marry late, a hard, watchful woman who counts what comes in. And one of your grandchildren, an old man far in the future, in a workhouse in a bad winter, will still carry your straight back and your habit of taking off his cap to his wife across a yard. He will not know the whale gave him that. The sea keeps its own accounts and pays them out slowly, 3 generations down. You gambled 3 years against a number and the number came up small, but you found out what your hands were worth, which the shore would have hidden from you until you died. That is not despair. For a poor man, in the England that made you, finding that out at all is the rarest arithmetic there is. One green hand chasing oil to light other people's lamps across an ocean that swallowed one ship in 3. History is full of these voyages. We are opening them one life at a time. Subscribe and no one gets forgotten twice.